Hello, 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 everybody. Hello, sis. How are you? Y'all know how I do. I got everything around me. Everything. I have it around me. Okay. Breathe. Exhale. Hello, everybody. It is your baby boomer, Kitty Lane, from the Peninsula in Virginia, back with another Create and Relate. How is everyone today? I hope you're all well. And before I go any further, happy St. Patrick's Day. I am not wearing 1 ounce of green. And you all are far away enough that you can't pinch me. You can't pinch me. Woo! So, how was everybody on this beautiful Tuesday? Were any of you affected by that storm yesterday? I am on time. I told you I was trying to get everything in order. I'm not going to say I got it in order per se, but I do have everything close at hand. So, was anybody affected by the storm yesterday? We got a little bit of wind. We got a few claps of thunder. We didn't get any lightning, and we got lots of rain. We got a lot of rain in a short while. So, we all know what happens when that happens. You get flooding. So, y'all, this is what I decided that we were going to do today while I'm with you all so that I don't have to shed tears alone. This was my Stitcher Hood blanket. When I hold it like this, even, you can see what I was talking about how the difference was. And this is all folded together and see how it bowed out. And that's because I switched hooks. So then I went back and asked myself, because I did not take a picture of it. Good morning. Good morning, my Jamaican mommy. How are you? Happy St. Patrick's Day. So after I went back and thought about it, I do know for sure that I used the Prim 6.0 and the Susan Bates 6.0. But then I went back and asked myself, was I using a smaller hook in the beginning? What was I? I don't think I did, but I'm really questioning if I was using my 5.5. But at any rate, doesn't matter because we're going to start all over again. I woke up this morning to give you trouble. And I'm so blessed and highly favored. Well, that is good to know. And I'm telling you, like I told everybody else, I am not wearing a stitch of green today, but you are too far away to pinch me. Oh my goodness. Yes, I'm going to be cackling a lot because I got a lot of tears balled up that I'm hiding. Yeah, let me tell you what happened today before we get into everything about today. So, good morning. It's Joan. It's not Joanne. It's Joan. Good morning, Joan. Sorry if it says it wrong. Abuse addiction. Eileen Vivian. How are you all? Lori. Hello. Lori, you see what I'm doing, right? And I'm going to be giggling a lot today. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone who has come in. We haven't even really started yet. I've started on this, and I'm going to be biting my lip, and I'm going to be looking off into space a whole lot. I didn't say Joni, I said Joan. Okay, so as you all know, I am your baby boomer, Kitty Lane from the Peninsula in Virginia. This is Come On in the Den here at Create and Relate. I am your mama cougar, aka Kitty Lane. And you all are my kittens, and I'm so happy you're here. No crying, kitty. Ah, oh my God. Don't let me come on. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I agreed to participate in the Stitcherhood donation blanket. And I have to frog mine. It's it's painful. Typically, I don't mind frogging things, but it's painful because I made a gross mistake. In the beginning, I thought I used the Susan Bates 6.0. And then in the middle of making it, I purchased a Prim 6.0. And I was so impressed with how it worked. I started using it on this blanket. And the, excuse me, difference is so vast. Y'all see that? It looks like a dress. The difference is so great that I'm now wondering if I was using a 5.5. My grandson decided he wanted to watch a Toy Story movie. So he's very content. Awesome. Which one is he watching? I think of that series, I would have to say, I think I think Lightyear was my best. Toy Story 4 would have to be my second best. And then the first one. Wasn't really crazy about 2 and 3, but yeah, yeah. I miss Lily. Yeah. So first of all, we have 528 subscribers, and our viewing hours are at 2,170.7. My mood this morning is at about a 9. It can't be at a 10. If it weren't for this, it would probably be at a 10. The way I feel today, I'm a little tired, guys. I have been up and busy today. And I took my medication early so that I wouldn't be having to dip out on you guys a lot. Didn't matter. Didn't matter. I took my medicine at 9. I'm like, okay, at 9, by 10:30, I should be good. At 9:10, I was in the bathroom. At 9:30, I was emptying the bladder again. At 10 o'clock, no, 2 minutes to 10, I was emptying the bladder again. Of course, that's like 2 minutes before my therapy session. Then again at 10:30, I had to go. I am, we, no, we are. Um, so I'm thinking, okay, that was the fourth time I should be good. 11 o'clock, I was right back. 11:20, I was right back. I'm like, wait a minute. I haven't even had that much to drink today. Where's the fluid coming from? And then, of course, at 11:53, so I'm hoping that that was it for a while. Whew. I'm so hoping. Y'all, it is sitting across the room, so I can't show you. I got some Happy Mail yesterday, and it is the most beautiful floral arrangement. And it let me know that somebody listens because, of course, they were not real flowers. I think real flowers are pretty. I do. But growing up in a funeral home setting, they remind me of funerals. But I love artificial flowers. That's something that I can keep for a while. And if I want to fragrance them, then I burn incense close to them. That's simple, So I absolutely love it. And I have it sitting in a place where as soon as I open my eyes in the morning, I can see them. And they are absolutely beautiful. They are absolutely beautiful. Okay, so like I said, my mood is at about a 9. My health, even though I'm tired, I still have to say that it's at about a 9 as well. And overall, that puts us right at a 9. It averages out right at a 9. Now, I don't know how many of you follow the challenges that Juan puts out. Like I told you, it is not on Tuesdays right now. It is on Wednesdays. Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And what he's calling them now is Wednesday challenges. This week he presented 6 of them because you have 2 weeks to do these now. And not just the usual 1 week. You have 2 whole weeks. And the first item that he had was what they call the 1 blanket, 1 stitch challenge. Now, and this is just me, I don't call them 1 stitch because it's actually a stitch element. It's what that combination of stitches make. And that's permissible because as long as you don't change it up, that's what you do throughout. So I call it the 1 blanket, 1 stitch element challenge. And of course I did mine, which I'm going to show you a little later when I show you my finished objects. The second challenge was a 1 skein wonder. And that's create a make using only 1 skein of yarn. Okay, then you wouldn't like my house. Real plants around. I don't mind plants. It's Caribbean folks. We like the real plants, not the fake ones. The fake ones give a lot of dust. So do the real ones. I don't mind plants. It's flowers. It's, the roses, the daisies. Carnation is my favorite flower, by the way. But the carnations, the daffodils, and not the real ones. I love the real ones out in the field. Usually when people give you bouquets, it's many different flowers together. Hey, Kitty, but I've told you it's hanging out with you. I've been learning so much about crocheting and my crocheting. I've been improving lots of no problem. No problem at all, Jamaican mommy. I'm glad that I can help. I'm so glad that I can help. But when flowers come together in an arrangement or in a bouquet, it's a group of flowers. And what I have learned, which I'm sure all of us have, is each flower has its own distinct fragrance. So when you mix those fragrances together, and you think about me growing up around the funeral chapels and all of these flowers together, they just have this going home kind of aroma to them, and that's what they smell like. Now, I don't mind getting like a single rose or even a dozen roses, or no baby's breath, just the roses, um, carnations. If it's one type, I don't mind that at all. But when they come together in a bouquet, when they come together in a floral arrangement of many different types, even a blend of two, then they start meshing in fragrance. It's kind of like the person that eats their food and none of their food can touch each other. I'm like that with the smell of flowers. I want to smell each individual one. If I have a live rose or a few live roses in my room, I'm not going to have carnations in here, and vice versa. If I have the carnation, I'm not going to have the roses, you know, um, or the jasmine, and I'm not going to have anything else, any other flower in here with a fragrance to it, because when I close my eyes, all I see is coffins and pews and preachers and people crying, and it's you know. So that's where I am in my head. There they are. Quick question, guys. I want each one of you to respond real quick. Write down in the comments the two items that you lose most in crocheting. The two items that you lose most in crocheting. I'm doing good working on awesome, Vivian. Working on two blankets. I had to kind of cut back. I was bouncing around from one project to the next. And what I ultimately decided is that I can only work on one big thing at a time, and then maybe I can go to the smaller things. When I realized that this blanket was not what I had in mind as far as it bowing out like it did, it knocked a lot of wind out of my sails. It did. It this kind of crushed me, y'all. I was ready to just put my hook up for a while and say, okay, Lori says that the hook and the darning needle follow closely by the stitch markers. Cool. Well, my first two are the scissors. I have scissors here, right in front of me, and the little cup right behind me, and I'm always looking for them. And the darning needle. Yesterday, I must have spent exactly, Vivian, the darning needle and the scissors. Those are the two things. Those are the two things. And, just like I just did, I just laid the scissors down right here in front of me. And all I need to do is move just a little bit, being that I'm, on my bed all the time. And they just kind of slide right under me. And these little things are pointy. They are pointy. I guess I have tough skin or something, because they never poke me. I shouldn't have said that. Wait a minute. Knock on wood. Oh my goodness. Okay, now the third item that was on the Wednesday challenge was a purple make. A purple make, followed by a green make. I wrote blue down. Ooh, what's wrong with me? But followed by a green make, which was very fitting because today being St. Patrick's Day. And then you had the chunky market bag. Now, also remember, if you choose to do these challenges, you can always double dip, triple dip, quadruple dip, however you want to dip. And if you choose not to participate at all, that's fine. That's fine. When Juan does that live, he kind of likes to see goose eggs, because he loves the honesty. And then the very last thing was an Easter wreath. An Easter wreath. Now, I did contemplate doing the Easter wreath, but Lori, you forgot about the scissors because you're probably looking for them. Oh my goodness. I have a tub that keeps done me, and it keeps, you know what? I was making birds with Mama C several months ago. And all I ended up getting was these two little figures that looked like eggs. It was the body of the birds. I put the eyes in and everything, but I never added the wings, the beak, and the feet. And I was like, hey, these are perfect for my darning needles. Now ask me where the birds are. I have no idea. I have no idea at all. Lori, the last time I bought scissors, I went and got the 10-pack from Walmart that had all different sizes in it. Yeah. I figured being at home, if I used the big ones, I wouldn't lose those because they're so big and gaudy. And my little brain was like, so what does that mean? Oh my goodness. So those are the 6 challenges that Juan presented this past Wednesday. This Wednesday coming up, he's going to have Let's Chat Stitches. Guys, I find that segment to be extremely helpful, informative, interesting. Um, like I said, I've been crocheting for 57 years, and there is so much that even I don't know. Um, I used to lose scissors, but now I'm neurotic about always putting them in their specific spots. Very good. That's what I tell myself too. I sure do. These go in the cup. These go on top of the table. And these stay in the other little caddy. So why am I looking at a pair right here on the bed in front of me? That's not where they go. Oh boy. But yeah, the like I said, there's so much that I don't know. I have learned a lot, even being a content creator here on YouTube. I have learned so much, and I'm another one of those that when I learn things, I try to pass them along. I think it has opened me up to create more. I actually won't allow anyone in the house except my husband to borrow my scissors. My stepdaughters never return. Step think, yo, that's my daughter. She doesn't do it maliciously. But lots of times I'll look in my drawer back here and I'm ready to do my hair and I don't have a comb and a brush. And y'all, I got 6 brushes and 4 combs. And I guarantee you, if I look in my drawer right now, I have 1 comb and 1 brush. Because I took them out of her room last night. Yep. And it doesn't help to go buy more. I used to go get color coded ones so that we would know which ones were mine. I figured if she saw, the purple, she'd be like, okay, this is mom. Nope, nope, nope. Ask me how many hair dryers do I own? None. Ask me how many I bought. Lots. Now combs are a whole different story. I know that's right. I know that's right. Huh. I be trying, y'all. I'll put tape around the handle. I'll use them and make sure it's seen that I drop it right back in the drawer. Mm-mm. Mm. They say sometimes the best way to teach somebody is to lead by example. Doesn't work. I'm learning lots from Mr. Juan as well. He's been helping me improve my crocheting. Lots also. Juan is a very, very, very good teacher. He really, really, really is. And he makes learning easy. I love his mind because he takes simple stitches that, even if you've only been crocheting for a little while, you put those combination, or you put together a combination of those stitches and you create something so beautiful. No, I just need to finish these blankets. Between you and him, I am getting there with my confidence again. Awesome. Because you can do it. You can do it. Y'all, my throat is getting dry and I'm scared to sip water. I am afraid to sip water. Oh boy. Okay, so I'm trying to finish this last row real quick. Okay, I got another quick question that you all can answer for me. If you were gifted, say, $2,000 gift certificate to use in any yarn store, you had to get something crochet knit fiber related, whether it's the notions, the tools, or the material itself. What would you get? What would you do with that? Me, first of all, I would buy another yarn shelf first. I would purchase another yarn shelf, and I would set it up in the laundry room, and I would get enough yarn. No, no. My next purchase would probably be the yarn cutter that you can wear as a charm. That just it looks like a circle or a brooch, that you can wear on the chain. Um, the blades are receded, so you don't, you can cut by forcing it across the yarn or pulling the yarn into it so it doesn't hurt anybody. I would make sure I got one of those. That's something that I've always wanted. I would get me, what is the, I can't think of the name of it right now. I know what I'm talking about, but the apparatus that holds the hanks so that you can use the ball winder to wind them. I think I would try an electric winder just so I could see which one I like the most. And I would probably cake up every bit of yarn I had. I find that to be so satisfying. Um, that's right, the Swift. The Swift, that's right. I would get me a Swift. And what else would I do before the yarn? Hmm. I think I would purchase a couple of complete hook sets. I like the Prim, and I think I would want to try the furls. Um, excuse me. I have stitch markers for years. I have stitch markers for years. Camille sent me a Swift, and it was a game changer for me. Bless your heart. Um, yeah. And then I would buy yarn. I would go crazy with yarn. I would probably put on my sleuth suit and try to catch every deal I possibly could. Yeah, yeah. hmm Wood furrows. I've never experienced a furrow period, so I don't know. I know that that one that I got from Temu was kind of furrow like. Um, I'm sorry, me and that one did not get along after it sliced my finger, and I just kind of put it up and let it stay there. So I would have a pretty hook. Oh my God. Yarn, stitch markers, and scissors. Awesome. 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 Yeah, I think the things that I would get that were not, yarn is like I said, the Swift. And oh, you know what else I would get, guys? I would get me a blocking board with the blocking pegs. I don't have one. I would definitely do that. The uh lightweight. That's what got me in trouble. The fact that this hook was so lightweight and it just kind of glided through everything. When I got my Susan Bates, I fell in love with it because it was actually lighter than my boy hooks. And then the fact that this one is not beveled, but I was still able to work it. I fell in love with the point on it. But I'm sorry, when I first got it, I had trouble with the lip because it was catching on my yarn all the time until I learned that, unlike a boy hook, I have to intentionally turn this down to pull that lip through the bottom of the stitch. Whereas with the Prim offers me a little more leeway that I don't have to turn it all the way down, and it's beveled. So it holds on to that yarn for me. Swift and get about 5 each color what I mostly use. Now, see, when it comes to the yarn, like I said, I would put my sleuth suit on because I want all the colors. I'm sorry. And I would have everything set up to resemble the rainbow. I want to try different brands. I want to try, oh my goodness, there's so many that I want to try. Yeah, there are, okay. Um, there's so many that I want to try. Yeah, okay. I can't say that I do, Lori, for the longest time I did, because that's what I crochet with. I've had boy hooks ever since I can remember. I had not used Susan Bates since I was a little girl. And then, back last year when I bought my first Susan Bates hook, the ergonomic Susan Bates hook, I absolutely fell in love to the point that I got the 6.0 first. And then I went back and I got excuse me, I got the 6.0 first. And then I went back and I got the 5.5 and the 6.5. And then I went back and got the 8.0, 9.0, 10.0. And then when I was in the store last week, I saw the 5 millimeter. And I was like, look at you, I'm grabbing that. Absolutely. I would love to go on a shopping spree and just buy yarn. That would be fun. Of course, you're going to have two, but I don't like them. Not my thing. Got them in the notions bag. You have two, which ones? The Susan Bates or the boy? I do find excuse me, Susan Bates a little easier to work with. I don't have really, really tight tension, but that point on the tip, as pointy as it is, I was splitting my yarn a lot less. I know that sounds crazy because it seems like with a rounded tip, I wouldn't split the yarn so much. But I'm telling you guys, I have more precision with the Susan Bates than I do the boy hooks. Now the Prim has a point as well. So after getting familiar with the Susan Bates point and then getting the Prim, and it was lightweight, and yeah. Um, Trying to read my writing for one. Okay, that's what I wanted to show you. So, as far as the finished objects are concerned, I do have one completed object. But guys, this is from Saturday. This is from Saturday. I showed you the other ones. I did finish my one blanket, one stitch element, and I have it upside down. So I do have that. I did make sure it was patterned so that each end mirrored each other. I didn't just throw them together. And the colorways that I chose were the um, was just in the site today. Oh my goodness. Premier was the Premier Just Yarn in the colorway of Aqua. I also used the Mainstay in the colorway of Yellow. I used Windtuck Vintage in the colorway of Butter. Those were my three colors, all three of them for worsted weight yarn. I used the 6.0 hook with this. The one I came very, very close to finishing was my very, very long. Y'all got to watch this as I do it, okay? See, I love furl hooks, but I couldn't afford the ones I love, so I found some that were almost like furls. In the case for 61. Whew, okay. When I grow up, I want y'all to see how long this scarf is, guys. And I only have 8 rows to go before it's completed. I had already made the pockets, but I've misplaced the pockets. I don't know where they are. So this is what we have. Follow me, y'all. Y'all see how long that is, guys? Y'all see why I kept putting it off? I mean, it's only 45 stitches wide, so we're looking at what, 360 stitches that's left on it. So that's all I have left of that to do, and I will be making 2 more pockets that will definitely be completed today. I think I showed you this Saturday. I started putting my squares together so that I would have room in my little bucket that they're in. They're way over there. I would do that to myself. But in the bucket that I had my squares in, I needed room to put more squares. So I started by putting 5 of them together. I'm going to put 5 more together today. So 1 row will be complete. Like I said, it is 100, so it's going to be 10 squares by 10 squares. And then that will be done. Have I caught up in squares? No. Today is the 17th, and I have 15 squares done. So I need 2 more squares to catch up. But guys, it takes 13 minutes to make a square. So it's not like I'm forever behind. I also was able to add to the wrap that we have. I wanted to show you that. No, I have not sewn in any ends yet. Don't worry, it will be done. I promise you, it will be done. And I did. I sewed in a few. See? I got down to there. Those ends were sewn in. So y'all see what it looks like with sewn in ends. And it is going to have a border. I haven't decided. I think I said originally that it was going to have a 2-round border. I'm kind of leaning more towards a 3-round border because I think I want to do the sea turtle, then the pink, and then the sea turtle again. So I'm thinking that's what I want to do there. I have also made sure that I have my 28 rows. This was our throw. So we have the 28 rows here. So once we get to 600, this will be 100 long. And it will be ordered or outlined. I like to say outlined if it's on the inner part. So I got that done. The bigger blanket is over across the room. I did add the rows that I needed to bring that up to the 28. Correction, is 9 hooks. They are on sale now for 42. Awesome. Awesome. I have not gone any further on the baby blankets. Um, I think I want to add another color to all of them and present them as a set. And if you don't remember, these are the 4 colors that I'm using. So I've only used one ball of this moss so far. And what I'm thinking is that I want to tie them all together with white or off white. And I'm going to make that the hood and the border of the blanket. So all of this will be strictly blanket. And I'm going to do it all in half double crochet, like the moss stitch. Half double crochet chain, half double crochet chain, etc., etc., etc. And okay, Joan, I also have this beautiful piece here. Guys, it is my season of frogging. I did work on this a little bit yesterday. And when I got to the end of the row that I was working on, I went back and looked at everything because I couldn't understand why one row was here and the other row was there. And I'm like, I don't understand why they're different. And I still don't. It's not making sense to me. So y'all know what that means, right? Y'all know what that means? Yes, it's going to be fraught. It's going to be fraught. And I'm actually going to go up a hook size. And even though I'm not changing the design element too much, I am going to change it a little bit. Yes, I am going to change it just a little bit. Just a little bit of luck. Just a little bit of luck. Okay, sorry. Yes, again. Again. I don't need to call myself Mama Cougar. I need to call myself the Frog Queen. I know. Have I given up on the 7-inch squares? No. But, and I'm not giving up on the carpenter's wheel either. Right now, it is aside because I want to go ahead and frog this and get it restarted. But, aha, here's an aha moment. Do you all remember this baby with the beautiful square in the middle? So what I think I'm going to do, I think I'm going to just add to this and make this my first submission for the Stitcher Hood blanket. I'm not giving up on it. I'm just redoing it. Yeah, I'm not giving up on it. I'm just going to redo it because I can't take this. I can't. Yeah, I'm not giving up on it. I'm just redoing it because I got this thing, guys, where it's got to be right. It has to be right. It has to look presentable. No, it doesn't have to be perfect because I believe that, we're all perfectly imperfect. And I'm doing something similar for my first one, adapting something else. Yeah, because the way I feel about this one, this is a design that I created. And the last thing I want to do is put this out there. First of all, this cause means so much to me. And I say it all the time, being a survivor myself, and then what they do for these ladies, they place these ladies. They place these individuals because it's not always just ladies. They place these individuals and they have queen size beds for them, and they want something beautiful atop that bed. And I don't want to give them shoddy work. I don't want to do that. I want them to look at these blankets. They'll be like, that's mine. I am so, not saying they did it. That was gifted to me. That was given to me. That's mine. And I'm proud to show this on my bed, on the back of my couch, wrap up in it, whatever, you know. But that's what I'm going for. So you can't be but so mad at me. Okay, so I showed you the wrap. I showed you the throw. We talked about the blanket. You do know that I did the hat and cowl set. The cowl is in the hat. But you do know that I did the hat and cowl set. And you know about the bag and the bottle holder, which is back there. And like I said, I'm still working on the squares. Don't forget that I'm pulling back for the month of April for several reasons. Number one, to give myself time to catch up on those blankets. I didn't realize I had so much going on until I sat back and wrote everything down. Took an inventory of everything that I was doing, and I was like, no, mm-mm, that's too much. So I decided to pull back also in the month of April, on April 27th, to be exact. I will have been on YouTube for 2 years. So I am super, super, super excited about that. To have been with you guys for 2 years, 2 years, 2 years. So the celebration is either going to be on the 25th or the 28th. The 25th being Saturday, the 28th being Tuesday. What say ye? Y'all prefer the 25th or the 28th? It's not going to be like a big, ooh, bells and whistles thing. It's just going to be the acknowledgement of me being here for 2 years. Because in actuality, I didn't drop my first video until June. Yep, I didn't drop my first video until June. It is exciting. And what is so exciting about it to me is the fact that I'm doing something I love. Even though there were times that I kind of squirreled away, but I love to crochet and I love to talk. And those two things together, yeah, yeah. So that's what I'm looking forward to. Now, something exciting, whatever day we choose, you can mull it over a little while, think about it, look at your calendars, whatever. But either day that is chosen, something exciting might happen during that live. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But guys, that is all that I had for you all today. I am going to get back on Timothy X and frogging these other two pieces and getting these other two squares done. And then I am going to prepare to go get my grandson from the bus stop, bring him home, get him his Lunchable and his chips. And then it'll be pretty much time to go get baby girl. And then I get her home and get her Lunchable and chips. Get them to do their chores. And I'll be scuttlebugging my way back here to the room. Guys, funny story. So we all know that I'm 5'3", right? So I'm short. I get it. I am. And when I leave, okay. Okay. So when I leave the apartment, I'm on my scooter. So when I went to the store last week, baby girl fell last week and hurt Oompa fell last week and hurt her wrist. Child's play. She jumped out of the swing. I've done it myself. The only difference when I did it, headphones went out. The only difference when I did it, I landed face first on the concrete sidewalk. So I had the funny teeth. Y'all, okay, hold on. So I had the funny teeth, the bloody nose, everything swollen. First time I broke my nose. But baby girl did it and hurt her wrist. She landed on her hand, like right here. And I bought her a wrist brace. Well, I had to kind of stand up on my scooter to get the wrist brace. Well, my youngest daughter, my baby girl, Jennifer, has carpal tunnel, and she also has bursitis, and it's in her right arm. And she's in perimenopause. Yeah. Fun, right? So every day I'm massaging her arm like several times a day. I remember what it was like to get that blood flow back down to the hand because that nerve, that carpal tunnel, will cut that off. And I'm just massaging her arm to get the blood flow back in those fingers. And it's like it'll get there and it stings really bad when the blood is going back in there. Oh my God, it stings so bad. And as soon as the person stops rubbing it, it's throbbing all over again. Well, at any rate, she was wearing the compression glove. She said it helped. But today she called me while I was at the store and she was like, Mom, can you see if they have any braces? I need a brace for my wrist. So I go over, I'm looking at the braces, and they have the copper bracelets. Hadija, how are you? So happy to see you here. So I got her the one that had the copper in it, the real sturdy one with the little metal pieces in it that help hold your wrist in place. Why do they put that stuff on the top shelf? The top shelf. I know they may want to keep little kids from getting into stuff like that, but I'm not a little kid. I'm a grown woman. And all 5 feet 3 inches of me could not reach up there on that top shelf. So I rode around the corner to the next opening. I did. And I picked up a Grabby off the shelf. And I came back to where they are and tried to pick up the box with the wrist brace in it and couldn't. But fortunately, there was a real sweet guest in there. So, yes, yes. Copper can be sold for a nice bit of money. So, top shelf. Okay, I get that, Hadija. I really do. Um, but when it's right there in front of a camera, I mean, if it's all of that, lock it up. They lock everything else up. I have to wait for an associate to open the case so I can get my tide. You know, lock it up. Lock it up. I mean, anytime I go pick up something from that area, the HBA section, and I feel like I have to play Donkey Kong and crawl, climb shelves, whenever I go get my potted meat, guys, potted meat, the little bitty cans, they have them all the way on the top shelf. And 9 times out of 10, they are purchased so much that they're all the way in the back. And I look like one more spider monkey trying to climb those shelves. I know they tell us not to, but one of the associates around. And you know what I've been told when I've asked associates to help me get those? You need to find you somebody who's tall. You 6 feet tall. How come you can't get it? I can't climb up there. You're an employee. You're the one who's supposed to climb up there. But y'all, I went and got Khadijah, you're so quick with it. Kitty Kong. Love it. But yes, I did go over there and get it. And I got the nice one too. These are $15 at Walmart, 14.97. And I grabbed the one that was it was either 2047 or 1947. I don't remember. I said the $20 one, so I'm not sure. But that's when I grabbed tried to get that box and still couldn't get it. Still couldn't get it. But yeah, I just think they treat us vertically challenged people so unfairly. That's just like my birthday is December 2nd. Do you know most people who are born between Thanksgiving and New Year's get one gift, and people tell them, "This is your birthday and Christmas." Guess what? We didn't ask to be born the days that we were born. It's not our fault that our parents made it when they did. We had nothing to do with that. Please don't slight us our second gift. I had to break that down for several people when I worked at 7-Eleven. I'm like, hey, give me a card and then sing me a happy birthday song. Give me a Christmas card and sing me a happy birthday song. That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking for a whole bunch. I'm not asking you to empty your bank account on me. I'm just saying, acknowledge the fact that I had nothing to do with being born around Christmas time. I didn't. My daughter is 12 days after I am, therefore she's before Christmas as well. And I make sure every Christmas I used to ask her, what do you want? What do you want for your birthday? And I will always, I'm grabbing my foot and ankle and everything. And she would always say she wanted lasagna. So I'd make her a lasagna. I'm like, okay, what else do you want? And it was always apple pie. So those were the two things that she got for her birthday. Guys, I want so much to cook again. I miss making lasagnas. I love making lasagnas. I mean, all different kinds, veggie, cheeses, with the meat sauce, with several kinds of meats. I used to, baby, how are you? But yeah, I miss so much. Happy belated birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear baby. Happy birthday to you. Forgive me, my throat is dry, but happy birthday, baby. I know it's a couple of days late. And happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. Guys, that is it, because I can keep thinking of things. And we can sit here all day and I can tell y'all all about my life, the funny things that have happened in my life. That's, as much of a joke as it has not been, it's been that much of a joke. But yes, I love each and every one of you. But as I tell you always, please, 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 please love yourselves. Please love yourselves, because self love is the greatest love of all. And you can't love anyone else the way they deserve to be loved unless you first love yourself the way you deserve to be loved. And you deserve the best. Remember, Kitty Lane told you. Remember, Kitty Lane loves you. until we see each other again on these YouTube streets. And I definitely will, Khadijah. Yes. Peace out, everybody. See you Thursday at 12 Eastern.